Hi guys, this is your girl Wakeji Kamore and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, depending on the time that you get to listen to this. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being part of this Bible summary. As you listen, remember to share this audio or at least the podcast link with at least one person per day. I feel like that's a very achievable deliverable. Sindio? So let's do that. Let's just share this audio. You can actually start with the audio and share it with at least one person in a day. So today we will be covering Numbers chapter 18, and this chapter comes right after God had made it clear that Aaron was a high priest and his sons would be the priest. And having made that clear, God goes ahead to remind them of the duties and what is rightfully theirs. So let's get into that. I'm going to be reading it word for word, and then after that we're going to be sharing this is a very interactive podcast. Even if you are not going to answer me, I will answer for you guys. I will ask you questions and answer for you. So anyway, let's get into it. This chapter is titled The Work of the Priests and the Levites. And then the Lord said to Aaron, "You and your sons and all the people in your father's family must bear the responsibility for any wrong that is done against the holy place or against the priest. To prevent that from happening, you must bring the rest of the men from the tribe of Levi to join you. These Levites will help you and your sons to do the work in the tent of the agreement. These Levites will be under your control. They will do all the work that needs to be done in the tent, but they must never go near the things in the holy place or at the altar. If they do, they will die. And you will also die." Wow. It's not just them, but even you who allowed them to go there, you will also die. "They will join you and work with you. They will be responsible for caring for the meeting tent, and all the work that must be done in the tent will be done by them. No one else may come near the place where you are. You are responsible for caring for the holy place and the altar. I don't want to become angry with the Israelites again. I myself chose the Levites from among all the Israelites. They are a gift to you. I gave them to you to serve the Lord and the work in the meeting tent. But Aaron, only you and your sons may serve as priests. You are the only ones who can go near the altar or behind the curtains into the most holy place. I am giving you a gift, your service as a priest. Anyone else who tries to come too close must be killed." Then the Lord said to Moses, I myself gave you the responsibility over all the special gifts that people give to me. All the holy gifts that the Israelites give to me, I give to you. You and your sons can share in these gifts. They will always belong to you. The people will bring gifts, grain offerings, sin offerings, and guilt offerings. These offerings are most holy. Your share in the most holy offerings will come from the parts that are not burned. All these things will be for you and for your sons. Eat these things only in a very holy place. Every male in your family may eat them, but you must remember that these offerings are holy. The Israelites will bring special gifts that you will lift up to me. I give these things to you and your sons and daughters. This is your share. Everyone in your family who is clean will be able to eat it. And I will give you the best olive oil and the best new wine and grain. They are the things that the Israelites will give to me, the Lord. These are the first things that they gather in their harvest. When the people gather a harvest, they will bring all the first things to the Lord. So these things I will give to you, and everyone in your family who is clean may eat it. Anything in Israel that is a special gift to God, is yours." Wow, that sounds great. "A woman's first baby and animal must be given to the Lord. That baby will belong to you. If the firstborn animal is unclean, then it must be bought back. If the baby is a child, that child must be bought back. They must make the payment when a baby is 1 month old. The cost will be 5 shekels of silver. You must use the official measure to weigh this silver, and a shekel by the official measure is 20 gerah. But you must not make a payment for the firstborn cow, sheep, or goat. These animals are holy. sprinkle their blood on the altar and burn their fat as a sweet-smelling gift to the Lord. But the meat from these animals will be yours, and also the breast that was lifted up to the Lord will be yours, and the right thigh from other offerings will be yours. I, the Lord, give you everything that the Lord offer as holy gifts. This is your share. I give it to you and your sons and daughters. This law will continue forever. It is an agreement. This law will continue forever. It is an agreement with the Lord that cannot be broken. I make this promise to you and your descendants. All right. The Lord said to Aaron, you will not get any of the land, and you will not own anything that other people own. I myself will be yours. The Israelites will get the land that I promised, but I am the gift to you. I am my gift to you. The Israelites, this is verse 21, the Israelites will give 1/10 of everything they have. So I will give that 1/10 to the Levites. This is their payment for the work that they do while they serve at the meeting tent. But the other Israelites must never go near the meeting tent. If they do, they must be put to death. The Levites will do the work of caring for the meeting tent. They must bear the responsibilities for anything done against it. This is the law that will continue forever. The Levites will not get any of the land that I promised to the Israelites, but the Israelites will give 1/10 of everything they have to the Lord, and I, being the Lord, will give the 10th to the Levites. This is why I said these words about the Levites. They will not get the land that I promised the Israelites. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Levites and tell them, the Israelites give 1/10 of everything that they own to the Lord, and the 1/10 will belong to the Levites. But you must give 1/10 of that to the Lord as your offering. And even the priests were actually to tithe from the tithe they receive. Nobody was exempted from tithing. That 10th will be your offering to the Lord. It will be like grain from your own threshing, flour or wine from your own wine press. In this way, you will also give an offering to the Lord, just as the other Israelites do. You will get the 1/10 that the Israelites give to the Lord, and then you will give 1/10 of that to Aaron the priest. When the Israelites give you the 1/10 of everything they own, then you must give the best and the holiest parts of these things as a gift to the Lord. Moses, tell this to the Levites. When you give the best parts of what you receive to the Lord, it will be the same as grain from your own threshing floor and the wine from your own winepress. You and your families can eat all that is left. That is your payment for the work you do in the meeting tent. And if you always give the best part to the Lord, you will never be guilty. You will always remember that these gifts are holy offerings from the Israelites, and you will not die. Wow, it feels like the Levites are getting really nice things, especially Aaron, who now gets like even 1/10 of the 10th, which is great. So anyway, wow, let's talk about a difficult topic that I feel like people don't like to talk about. Let's talk about tithe. What it was meant for, and who was to give it. Let's answer these questions from this chapter. Let's, like the way we used to do in primary school, where we would be given like a passage, and then there will be a list of questions whose answers can be found in the passage. That's how we are going to do it. So having read Numbers chapter 18, what was tithe? In Numbers chapter 18 verse 21, it says 1/10 of everything they had. So tithe was 10% of everything that someone had. All right, are we together up to that point? Yes, I said I will ask you guys questions and I will answer them myself because you guys are not here. Who was supposed to give tithe? Again, Numbers chapter 18 verse 21 says the Israelites were supposed to give. It says the Israelites will give 1/10 of everything they have. So number one, the Israelites were supposed to give tithe. In Numbers chapter 18 verse 26, we see that even the priests, the Levites, were supposed to also give tithe. Nobody was exempted from giving this tithe to the Lord. All right, so who was the tithe given to? Who used to receive this tithe? Number one, Numbers chapter 18 verse 24, it says, but the Israelites will give 1/10 of everything that they have to the Lord. To who? To the Lord. So the Lord was the one who was being given the 10% tithe, or rather the tithe. So who was the tithe given to? It was given to the Lord. Because the Bible says, but the Israelites will give 1/10 of everything they have to the Lord. All right, so who gave the tithe to the priests? Who gave the tithes to the priests? Numbers 18 verse 24, it says, let me just read the whole of Numbers 18:24. It says, but the Israelites will give 1/10 of everything they have to the Lord. And I, being the Lord, will give the 1/10 to the Levites. So who gave the tithe to the priests? It was God. It was not the Levites. The Levites gave their tithe to God. And then God decided what to do with this tithe. And his decision was to give it to the Levites. Rather, the Israelites gave their tithe to God. And then God decided, okay, I have received this tithe. And I have decided to give it to the Levites. So why did God give the tithe to the priests? Number one, because this was the payment for the work that they did while they served in the meeting tent. It was a payment for the work that they did. And also number two, it says that the Levites were not to inherit any land. So they were going to the promised land, and every tribe would inherit like a piece of land, like everybody would get a piece of land, but the Levites were not to inherit any piece of land. So this is why God decided to give them the tithe as payment, number one, for the work that they used to do at the tabernacle, and number two, because this was like a gift to them because they were not going to inherit land. So having used the passage to answer these questions, we have seen that God commanded or required the Israelites to give their tithe to him, to God. And then God decided to give their tithes to the priests and to the Levites. So my question is, when you give someone a gift, do you have the right to dictate what they do with it? When you give someone a gift, do you have the right to dictate what they do with it? The answer is no. Hapa hakuna hiyo story, every answer is correct. No, the answer is no. The correct answer is no. What if that person you've given a gift chooses to give that same gift as a gift to someone else? Should you be hurt? Should you get hurt? Should you get hurt if you give me a gift and then I decide I'm going to give that gift to someone else? Should you get hurt? The answer is no. I know you do. I know you get hurt. I know you would probably do. But the answer is no, you should not. Because you've already given me that gift. You've already given out that gift. So it now belongs to that. It doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to the person you gifted. Then if that person decides to give it to that other person, it should not hurt you. All right, question number 3. What if the second recipient is careless with the gift? So do we have a right to complain? So you've given me a gift, and then I've gone and given it to Nancy. Okay, I'm sorry if there's a Nancy listening to this. And then Nancy has become careless with the gift. Now they are just using it however they feel like. They're probably even broken it. Should you, as the person who gave me the gift to begin with, complain that Nancy is being careless with the gift? The answer is no. So let me tell you guys, for the longest time, I used to compare tithing with paying taxes. But after reading this, I've realized that the two cannot even be compared. You see, the thing is, we pay taxes in expectation that the government will use the money to build infrastructure, to bring about quality healthcare and education, and so on and so forth. So paying taxes has an expectation attached to it. You pay because you're expecting a service. And we can hold the government accountable for the mismanagement of that tax. Right? So in the Old Testament, tithing was a requirement from God. It was a way for the Israelites to be thankful for all God had given them. It was not meant to buy any services, and it had no expectation attached to it. Then God decided to use this tithe to pay the Levites for the services at the tabernacle. And as we see later, some of the priests were careless with the offering and they faced their judgment from God. Not from the people who had initially given the tithe, but from God. Let's not get it twisted. I'm probably going to say things that you might not agree with. You might want to throw stones at me. But let me just say this. Don't get it twisted. We don't feed our pastors. God does. He just uses us as a tool to do it. And in return, for allowing him to do it, for engaging in it, we get blessed. And if we refuse, God will use other tools and means to feed his servants. God does not have a shortage of ways and means that he can use to feed his servants. He just involves us so that he can get a way to shower us with blessings. And I'm telling you, the blessings of tithing, beautiful blessings. If I had time, I hope that I can be able to continue doing this. I'm like, it's already 15 minutes. But the blessings of tithing are amazing. So you can sit there and decide that you will not tithe because pastors are eating your tithe. But remember, you don't give the tithe to the pastors. You give it to God. Then God decides to give it to the pastors. And the judge judges those who are careless with it. It is not your place to judge. It is God's, because God is the one who decided to give it to them. On the other hand, the people who are tithing are being blessed. See your wash. Watu wana tithe na wana blessiwa. Not by their priests, but by the Lord whom they gave their tithes to. Let me tell you, I know there's a whole argument about how the New Testament doesn't talk about tithing, but the New Testament is the same testament that talks about people selling everything they have and giving the money to the poor. So is that what you're doing? You who's now, I'm not tithing because the New Testament doesn't talk about tithing. So are you selling everything and giving everything to the poor? So you're not even doing that? Okay. So now it's not even an issue with all the pastors are going to eat the money, or it's not written in the New Testament. It's just an issue with giving. Shida ni kupeana. Kupeana ndo iko shida. Actually, there is so much I could say about this topic. But for now, may the Lord open our eyes to see the truth that the enemy is working double shifts to hide from us. I'm telling you, the enemy is working double shifts to hide that truth from us. And may we be willing to be the hands of God in this world. And may we experience the blessings that come from the obedience of God's word. This is your girl Wakeji Kamore, and this has been Reflections by Wakeji Kamore.